Hi everyone, I hope that you're all doing well. Before we get into the reading, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. What it looks like to me is that there's something that you're going to be proceeding with. However, before you proceed, there may be a bit of a perspective that you need to gain or something that you want to look into further. Something is going to be happening. There may just be, for some of you, it can even be a pause. It may not be something that you did either. It could be like, hey, I'm ready to get this started, but there are things that need to fall into place still. But this is actually an opportunity to kind of zoom out or even see something differently than you had been seeing it before, which is going to affect what it is that you're creating. So yeah, there's something that you may need more insight into something or to see something differently, or there's more to see about whatever this is, and having this opportunity or this pause is going to grant you exactly that. It seems like there's reflection that's needed before you go out into the world and continue doing whatever you're doing. Even recognizing and understanding the effect that you have, the power behind how you're creating your life, how you're touching other people, how you're affecting other people. I feel like this is getting existential very quickly. Okay, we're starting off with the Death card. Transitionary period for you when it comes to what it is that you're creating. You could be uncovering things. To be starting off immediately with Scorpio, and to also have the Emperor on the bottom of the deck, this can be something that's affecting like a big area of your life, an important area of your life. It can be an aspect of your business, your long-term, your family. Long-term moves, thinking ahead, getting more disciplined with what you're doing. And to have us starting off with the Death card, this means that you could really be turning something around, or you could have been building something in a certain direction and been like, you know what, I want to put a freeze on that and go back in this other direction, or let's dig all of this up and kind of redo this. It's an energy that says there's something that we want to kind of flip around and uncover and get to the bottom of, because with Scorpio, it's all about getting to the essence of something. So you could even be asking yourself, why do I want to have this business in the first place? What does that mean to me? What kind of life do I want to be creating for myself? What does that look like to me? And really getting to the bottom of it, and also shedding all of those layers of, this person says it should look that way, or this person's opinion, I've been taking on that projected energy. This is about like shaking all of that off and getting down to the core of like, what's really going on in that for you, and how do you really feel about that? What does it mean to you? I'm hearing, what does it mean to me? You and I, same thing, huh? Definitely hugely related to your purpose, to even your sense of purpose. We're looking at Scorpio. Keep seeing the Emperor. Also saw the star popping up. I'm hearing important themes. So interesting. I'm seeing this person wrapped up in, it looks almost like a shawl, but actually in looking closer, it kind of looks like a bed sheet that this person has on. There might be something that's going on when you're sleeping. Sleeping, dreaming. You could even be getting ideas through your dreams. For some of you, within your dreams, you're seeing things happening or playing out. For example, you, right before you wake up, you kept seeing like wallpaper that had pineapples all over it. And then the first thing that happens when you check your phone is that, like, somebody sent you a picture of a pineapple. It's stuff like this happening. It's like your dreams are relaying information to you. I'm hearing across county lines, but I'm seeing this be more so like across planes. You may be doing shadow work or even subconscious work. You may be doing dream analysis with the Death card and the Four of Swords. Taking a break to regroup. You could also be in a transitionary period where you feel like you've been needing more rest lately, too. Kind of like, I don't know why I'm so tired, but I feel almost like I'm getting ready for something or I'm preparing for something here. Maybe the feeling. Maybe your schedule is also a bit off, too. Something looks kind of inconsistent. Star card that we kept seeing in the shuffle. Okay. Okay, so there's major healing work that you're doing. This can also be purpose-driven for you. Getting back to ground zero. So there's a very big change that you're embracing, that you're going through, that may feel kind of like a metamorphosis in some way. In an area of your life that feels important to you. Physically, you may be feeling affected by that and may need a different type of support than is routine for you. I'm also seeing the star pop out here too, which feels very much like getting to the core of something that feels very important to you. And you may be connecting more often with your guides, grounding your energy, maybe meditating more. I don't see the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords isn't always about like resting before you get ready for something. It just depends on how the energy is coming through within the reading. Because I channel as well as interpret the tarot cards, so it's not always just the, there are different things that can come through, different messages. Yeah, you may even be asking for guidance about your purpose too. It seems like a very, very big change happened before this, or you're going through a very big change, and you may be at a spot where you're like, I can create anything from here. I'm just trying to figure out what that right thing is for me to be doing. Like, what is my purpose here? And it seems like you have the time to be figuring this out too, or you've made the time, or something has happened where a situation has granted you the opportunity to be figuring this out. And there may be more that you're letting go of too, of things like needing to look or be a specific way, which actually helps you find your way. By dropping certain preferences that you may have. I'm seeing gloves here. I'm seeing yellow gloves, like when you wash the dishes. There's this sense of knowing that you're feeling, and at the same time, there's some sort of conflict or issue. For some of you, this can be outwardly. For others of you, this is happening internally. And we are going to find out why. And that may be something that's important for you to look into. Like you trying to prioritize figuring out, if I have this dream, why am I not pursuing it? And what's holding me back from doing that? Am I leaning too much into like what other people are saying? Do I have a fear of being judged? Am I judging myself? Am I taking on projected energy? Am I not allowing myself to do something that I want to do? Because the issue doesn't even seem like... It's not as if you're completely lost and you have nowhere to go. There's a vision here that I'm seeing. There's a dream here that I'm seeing. There's this sense of knowing when it comes to purpose. But then there's also an issue for some reason with that knowing even. And maybe it's also about how to how to practice that, how to apply that, like how to make that happen. How does my dream translate into something even physically that I'm doing? Or how do I create that for myself? How do I paint that sort of picture? How do I display that? I'm hearing something about seeking wise counsel. I'm seeing somebody that's sitting up, and it seems like they're speaking, but even in a way where, for some of you, there may be somebody that you're connecting with, because I'm seeing you be in a spot where it even looks like you are the student within this scenario, and there's someone that you're like very intently listening to. I'm seeing two different people, and for some of you, this may not be a live person in front of you, but it's somebody that's communicating with you, and for some of you, you even feel like they're telepathically communicating with you. I'm hearing anything is possible. But yeah, there may be things that you're channeling or like wisdom that you're picking up on. It's like this, when you start tapping into higher planes of energy and you're connected with your third eye, you can watch an infomercial about something and pick up divine information from that. It's like everywhere you look are going to be like messages and signs and information that is useful. It's going to be everywhere because you are connected at that plane. Because it's not the world that changes, it's your perception that changes, and you being able to key and tune into a higher vibration of energy. It's like figuring out how to tune into certain radio stations. And so you may be having the same events are occurring that you've been seeing, like you drive to work and you go here and you have lunch there and all of that stuff, and you see like that commercial or that comes on the radio, but it carries a different message with it. Now, something that, even though it's been saying the same thing the whole time, you're able to hear something differently than you had been before. You're able to retrieve information and interpret it differently than you had been before. So there's something that you feel is not smooth, or there's some sort of tension, but to have the moon here, this can be something that's deeply subconscious. Like something keeps stopping you. It's like you really want to go to the store and these obscure all of this. You really want to go to the store and you want to get an orange, but for some reason you keep stopping yourself from doing it. But it's been a dream of yours to buy an orange, but something keeps stopping you and you can't figure out why. Something going on back there that you do have access to if you choose to access it. It seems like now is the time to... There's something going on with the Scorpio in your chart. Can be something going on with the 8th house within your chart. Aspects to Pluto within your chart. Something that's being activated. So whatever this subconscious energy is, because it's almost like I feel this tension, but I can't put my finger on it with the moon here. Could be something going on within your 12th house too. So it's kind of like something is there, but you don't know how to get to it. It's like you keep being stopped by a wall, but for some reason you can't really like make out where the wall is. Like a glass ceiling type of thing. This could also be stuff that you don't want to be recognizing too. Like there is inner conflict, and again, you do have access to this information, but you may be in a space where like even subconsciously you don't want to realize something yet, and that's why you don't know why this conflict is coming up for you. And what this issue is. I will say this too, it can also be a fear of the unknown. To have the star here, it's like, I know what I'm meant to be doing, or I'm understanding my purpose, and at the same time I know that this is going to take some sort of leap of faith. These two feel very, very significant, the Five of Wands and the Moon. I know that this is going to take a leap of faith, and I feel scared, or I feel tension. Part of me is saying, no, let's not do that. I don't want to go there. That's when the ego pops up, and it's like, is this actually a safe situation to be taking a chance on? Because I can't see how deep that water is, and I don't know if we should really jump in there. So yeah, it does feel like shadow work that we're doing. Okay. I am seeing us progressing through this. It's going to take some different energy shifts. Meaning there are steps to this, to accomplishing it. Okay. So we have a choice, and we also have you showing up needing to do something. Defending a dream of yours that you have, wanting to pursue what it is that you want to pursue. So we are looking at Scorpio, Aquarius, and Pisces. I'm also looking at Mercury here on the bottom of the deck. I'm hearing, is that yours? Okay, so the devil just popped out for a moment and then went back in the deck. I'm seeing this like there could be stuff, there can be pressure. Even social structures within the 3D that you feel are kind of like repressing you in some way. Because the devil can represents like the earthly realm in a way where like everybody is doing this. It can be like social standards, stuff where you feel like you have to act a certain way, or you're being taught to act a certain way, or to fit into a particular mold, and you feel like you're restricted by those things. It's like societal standards and stuff like that. There's something that you want to do that may be a bit different or unusual for some of you with the star here. But it's a dream of yours. It seems like not everybody's going to understand this, and this is about like finding it within you to fight for what feels authentic to you, and for that to matter enough to actually pursue it and to follow through with it. To truly be yourself and allow yourself to be seen. Okay. So, a decision needs to be made. You are going to need to get into a space where you're really looking at this, you're really analyzing it, you're really paying attention. What happens with the Queen of Swords when we channel this energy, it's like you're being handed a contract. We can use this example. You're being handed a contract. Before you sign it, before you push it away, before you accept it, you want to read the whole thing. You want to read it again. You want to analyze it. You want to edit it. You want to make sure that you understand all of it. And then you want to make your decision, okay? And the Queen of Swords in this position also looks like it's connected with you needing to show up for yourself in some way, and something that you want to do, a dream that you want to pursue even. Because you're going to have some people that are not going to agree with what you're doing. They are not going to support what you're doing. They're not going to see what you're seeing because they're not connecting with that vision of yours. And what are you going to do when you get into these situations? And some of you are already finding yourself in these situations. There's like something that you want to take a chance on and something that you want to pursue, and you're going to have to stand up for it and advocate for yourself. It's going to be challenged. So you know that you want to take this opportunity, and you know when I decide to take on this opportunity, there are also challenges that are going to come along with this. It's just part of the territory. But you're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. It seems like it's like, if I can just get through this, I know that it's going to be worth it for me. I know what's on the other side of this. And I'm seeing you really considering. So you have the option of taking this opportunity that has now become available to you. And I'm seeing you spend time really analyzing this, looking into it, thinking about it. And then I'm seeing you get to a point where you're like, if this is solid, I'm going to take this. This is something that's going to be worth it to me. And I think this is also in alignment with my goals. But in the past, this exact type of decision making or even pursuit, you may have avoided situations like this. This may have been something that you really, like, you saw it popping up and then turned the other way because you were like, not today, I don't want to deal with that today. But because of the changes, because of this personal evolution, because of this transitionary period that you're in right now, it seems like you're more open to exploring and making decisions, and you're at a point where you're like, I think that I'm actually ready to do something now. I'm ready to make a choice now. And I'm seeing you sit with it for a bit, and I'm seeing you thinking about this, and I'm seeing you get very connected with this part of yourself that is shining very brightly. And I'm seeing you get to a place where you recognize, I want to take this opportunity. And I know that there are going to be challenges that are connected with this, but this is part of what I'm seeking. Even if I don't know all of where this is going to be taking me, it's going to be worth it to me to take this chance. And I want to pursue it. And I do feel like this is part of my path. And there's a sense of dedication here that's developing to your journey. And not just your journey, but your authentic journey that you feel connected with, where you're checking in with yourself first before you're making choices, and really leaning into that and learning how this works. You want to be paying attention to how you're managing your resources. This is something that's going to be key. For some of you, you're not at a point, you're not experiencing, okay, this is going to be different. I'm seeing this be the variable here. For some of you, there is a sense of being worried about like money and stuff like that, and that's where this conflict is coming from, okay? So that's one portion. For some of you, money is not an issue, or resources are not an issue, but just because you may have like an abundance right now, you don't want to be frivolous with the way that you're using things. Like, you still want to be mindful of how you're using your resources. Because something is going to come up where there's going to need to be like a managing, or things being shifted around. For those of you that are in a space where you're like, this is a dream of mine and I would take this opportunity, however, it's going to cost a lot of money, or it's going to take a lot of resources, because it doesn't just have to be money. Resources can be like time and energy and like a lot of other things that come with it. If you feel conflicted solely because of things that are like physical resource wise, it's something that you may want to look into further and understand where that's coming from. Because you may be like leaning so far into earth energy that there's like a lack of manifesting, or there's a lack of like self-belief or hope or faith in what you're doing. And something may be like a bit of a risk to be taking. And you may actually be calculating like whether that's worth it to you to do or not. But for some of you, you may actually feel deterred because of something going on financially for you. And you may be getting to the point where you're asking yourself, like, am I going to make a decision out of fear, or am I going to do something out of a place of empowerment, and to like trust myself and believe that if I feel called in this direction, things will fall into place, and I'm just meant to be pursuing this, and I know my guides are going to work things out for me. And to trust your intuition, to trust that you know what's right for you, no matter which way you end up going with this. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for joining. Thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.